I have been a fan since 2017. I have been literally queerbaited for 9 years. In the finale, it's going to be rushed. It's going to be intense, but it's all going to pay off. The painting, not been mentioned once. The fact that Will thinks that kissing fixes an argument will 100% play into it. They'll get into a fight about powers, and he's going to have to step in and be like, no, it's going to be rushed. I feel like that's what's going to make it so clear that no one in the general audience can deny it. Also, Vecna, well, we don't know what Will saw exactly, but he never mentioned his crush directly being in the vision. Do you know what I mean? He mentioned all of them believing, but that's because he didn't tell them who he liked. Do you know what I mean? He saw the exact same scenario just go wrong. So obviously he didn't say who he liked. And I really do just think he is just doing it just so Vecna doesn't have it against him. We never saw what Vecna said to Will, so do you think Will witnessed himself give a similar speech to the one he gave, but without the hemi lines and references, so Will believes that since he didn't do that and everyone left him, he now thinks he had to force himself to get over Mike and present himself like he's been over him for a bit of time. Then, since it was different and everyone reacted positively, he thinks he can't date Mike, meaning Mike will have to make the first move, because it's not his love that makes him weak, that's what strengthened him. We see that in the end of Sorcerer. We see him in Sorcerer, he, bites the Demogorgons, thinking about his past, which contains maternal love, paternal/brotherly love, and then romantic love. He fights a Demogorgon, 3 Demogorgons using 3 different types of love. He never told Mike that he likes him, and it will play into it because we don't know what he saw with Vecna, so we might just think that if he convinces everyone around him, he'll be able to convince himself. Also, I'm mostly recording this to help myself, but I hope they'll help you too. His whole character arc for every season has been selfless, sacrificial, and just generally just to be for everyone else, not for himself. And this is another part of that arc. He's accepted a segment of himself, but he's not accepted himself as a whole. Because if he accepted himself as a whole, he'd accept he still likes him. So it's a way of his arc's not complete. Because none of the characters' arcs are complete until the last minute, the last second before the last credits roll. None of their arcs are complete. And we've seen them do it. We've seen them do the rush intense. There's all the hints, but we don't see it until it's right there. They enjoy that thing. They obviously want it in their own show. It's very interesting that they made him accept everything about himself, including the fact he used to like this person. But they made it in a way that he was flirting with him on the 4th of November, and the 6th he's over him. No. This is another part of his sacrificial arc where he won't give in to how he feels, he won't accept it, as he wants no one else to be distracted. He doesn't want Mike thinking about it, he doesn't want Elle to be upset. He wants everyone's plans to work out perfectly, and he just wants everyone else to be happy and succeed. He doesn't care about, his own feelings, because he even said himself he knows that he's not like that. He is. So it's the fact of he still has that bit of his arc to complete, and I feel like a few flashbacks, seeing what Vecna showed him, seeing all this, that would be what fixes the rushness of it in a way. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to make it sound canon. It is going to feel rushed, but with 40 minutes of an epilogue, it's going to be very interesting to see where they take it, because something could feel so brushed at the time, but then after watching it, when it's settled, it might seem a lot more interesting, and it might, I don't know, leave the way for more theories and more things to happen. You know what I mean? If we see how they get together, and it's very rushed and very intense, all we'll be thinking about is how their dynamic will change from being friends or how it will stay the same and all this. And then we'll watch a big fight and we'll watch everything happening, and it's just another thing on top of the intensity, and it makes it so real in a way, because the intensity that is around them is different to those around gay people, but it's the same, as in they it's like it's both unstable environments. In watching someone who's finally accepted himself and someone who is so far away from accepting themselves, watching them explore it in an unstable environment whilst they're unstable, and then being irrational and quick, and doing silly things because they think they're not going to live to see the consequences, and then seeing them through the consequence of what they did will be so interesting. And it's not owned, guys. It's not. And the misleading of the general audience is 100%. They made Volume 1 and purposely made it so everyone turned to Byler. Everyone, I swear, 90% of the fandom was a Byler. And now they coincidentally made Volume 2 end with Maleven. I know it didn't end with them. Their bones, they're playing up the Al sacrificing herself thing. They've had no interactions, but general audience doesn't have media literacy, so they think the absence of one ship equals the acceptance and actuality of one ship. You know what I mean? They think since Byler didn't happen, it means Maleven's 100%, even though they're both still probably 55 and 45. I think that adds up to it. No, it doesn't. This one's high. Byler's higher. Maleven, they basically have an equal chance of becoming canon, but Byler will get a lot more backlash in the long run if it doesn't become canon. They are doing something. They are making us question them. They're making us analyze them. They want this week of theories and gaps and stress, and they want it because that's what makes the show so Stranger Things. It needs the intensity. It needs the stress. But you need to be wary for every life, every relationship, everything that's going on. Every father-daughter dynamic, every brotherly dynamic, you need to be worried for them all. And that's what Strange Things does. It makes everything feel so real on a level that you can't comprehend until you're in that gap waiting. And the fact that they keep referencing, changing people's opinions, and they keep referencing in interviews, making people question things and making plot twists, they know what they're doing, and it's going to work. Al's so going to leave with Callie, and also, in season 4, they managed to add 4 different plots in, and I think they'll be able to do it again. And then, they haven't confirmed the length of the epilogue. From what I know, there's been leaks and theories, but trailers must have made it, but I really do. We don't know how long it's going to be. It could just be a quick flash forward, you know what I mean, just to show that everyone's still okay. Like, there's a lot that could happen, and if we think about how much they've been able to develop the story, in 5, they didn't do a lot. 6, they did one plot, and then 7, they did the other plot. They've done so much. If you put it into perspective, that we all do it again. The idea of love saving that was 100% true, we've had it throughout the whole series. Choices, love and determination saved Will. I think it was, I don't know how to describe it, but everyone's love for Will, be him of possession, and in his love for everyone else, helped him get to the gate because he was prepared to sacrifice his own life for them. And then, season 3, Max putting her love away and honing in on the bad memories of someone got them killed, like Billy, and then the love of his mother got him to become a good person, like not a good person, but you know what I mean, come to sacrifice himself. Love has been the main thing of the whole Strange Things show. They specifically mention love of outcasts is what the show's about. What's her name? Season 4, the van scene, the love that Will places on Elle, he uses as a mirror, and that is what saves Elle. But since see love is not true, it can't even truly save Max. But then in season 4, they recontextualize it by having Will, who truly loves Mike, kill 3 Demogorgons and save 3 lives because he used 3 different types of love in his memories. He used maternal, paternal/brotherly, and romantic, and it saved 3 people because he used 3 different types of love. Love is the key, and I'm going to stand on that until the whole series is over because it's going to be canon. The aspect of it making sense over a 3-day period would rely on the theory that Mike and Eleven have already broken up, which would just need to be recontextualized by a flashback, which a lot of people think is the Mike and Hopper leak. I don't know. Visually during Will's coming out scene, he states, "I don't like girls," purposely having the screen focus on Will, a character who just came out as gay. On a character some of the fandom also assumed to be gay. This scene focuses on Mike pushing and blurring the other two into the background, showing him gulping and tensing up the same way he did when Will gave him the painting in the van scene, purposefully becoming contrasted mere moments later when Will states, "Not like you," that sentence frames Lucas and Dustin while blurring Michael. The framing purposefully takes Mike out of the center of the frame. It blurs him. If the scene wasn't Will being an unreliable narrator, as proven before in scenes, why wouldn't the focus be on Mike if the scene was about Mike being straight? And being Tammy, they should have kept the focus on him when saying he doesn't like girls like them. Purposefully cutting Mike out raises questions. Will said Mike is his Tammy. Oh yes, the most reliable narrator of all time. The one and only Will Byers. He also had a line every single episode about how he's not powerful and that he's a failure who doesn't stand a chance against Vecna. Do we perhaps think the writers are building to Will being wrong about all his self-hating beliefs? Paulo Coelho has a great quote. "It's when I had all the answers, the question changed." Like the question changed from being if Mike accepts him to if Mike likes him back.